the Philippines has officially approved an expanded defense cooperation agreement with the United States, marking a significant milestone in the evolving security landscape of Southeast Asia. This move comes after months of careful negotiations and reflects a growing sense of urgency among regional leaders. It marks a pivotal shift in the Indo-Pacific's balance of power, as nations across the region reassess their alliances and strategies in response to new geopolitical realities. This Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, signals a dramatic pivot in Philippine foreign policy and a renewed commitment to its alliance with Washington. It opens the door for deeper military collaboration, joint training exercises, and intelligence sharing between the two countries. The timing is crucial. Amidst rising tensions in the South China Sea, a vital global trade route now at the center of competing territorial claims. The region's stability is increasingly threatened by overlapping interests and military buildups. The agreement grants the U.S. greater access to key Philippine military bases, positioning American forces closer to potential flashpoints and reinforcing regional stability. This enhanced presence is designed to deter aggression and reassure allies. For Manila, this is more than logistics. It's a clear statement that its security interests are best served through a fortified U.S. The partnership also brings economic opportunities and technological support to the Philippines. The move is a cornerstone of Washington's Indo-Pacific strategy, aimed at countering China's growing assertiveness. It demonstrates America's enduring commitment to peace and stability in the region. This pact is not an endpoint, but the beginning of a new era, one that will trigger strategic recalculations from Tokyo to Beijing. Regional powers are now closely monitoring how this alliance will reshape the security environment. The world is watching as the future of international order in the 21st century is being shaped right here. Decisions made in the Pacific today will echo across continents for years to come. The U.S.-Philippines relationship is rooted in a complex history of colonialism, war, and shared democratic ideals. From the early days of American rule in the Philippines to the fierce battles fought together during World War II, the two nations have been bound by both conflict and cooperation. This legacy continues to shape their partnership today, influencing how both countries view their roles in the region and the world. Yet this alliance has often been tested by questions of sovereignty and national identity, sparking passionate debates among Filipinos about the true cost and benefit of close military ties with the United States. The Mutual Defense Treaty of 1951 has anchored their alliance for over 70 years, surviving the closure of U.S. bases in the 1990s and shifting political winds. Despite these challenges, the treaty has remained a cornerstone of regional security, adapting to new threats and opportunities as they arise. After a period of uncertainty under President Duterte, who leaned toward China and questioned the value of the U.S. alliance, the current administration has realigned with the U.S. in response to mounting pressure in the West Philippine Sea. This renewed partnership reflects growing concerns over territorial integrity and the need for reliable allies. The original Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, signed in 2014, allowed U.S. access to Philippine bases for joint training and humanitarian operations. However, implementation lagged for years, hindered by political hesitation and logistical challenges, until recent developments brought new urgency. The recent approval of 4 new sites and the full-scale development of all 9 marks a decisive policy shift. These expanded facilities are designed to enhance rapid response capabilities, improve disaster relief, and strengthen deterrence against external threats. For Manila, the benefits of a robust U.S. presence now outweigh the political sensitivities. The government sees this as a necessary step to protect national interests and reassure the public amid rising regional tensions. This move is a clear signal. The Philippines is prioritizing its security and sovereignty in a rapidly changing region, determined to defend its maritime rights and territorial claims. The alliance is being reimagined for a new era of strategic competition, with both nations investing in joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and modernizing their forces to meet emerging challenges. The stakes have never been higher, as the region faces unprecedented uncertainty, and the world watches to see how this historic alliance will shape the future of the Indo-Pacific. The expanded EDCA, or Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, allows the U.S. to build facilities and pre-position military assets at 9 key Philippine military bases, marking a significant step in the two countries' defense partnership. However, it's important to note that this does not mean permanent American bases. Sovereignty and full control of these sites remain firmly with Manila, ensuring the Philippines' authority is respected at all times. The U.S. gains rotational access, meaning troops and equipment can come and go as needed, and can construct joint-use facilities such as runways, storage depots, and command centers. This setup enhances rapid response capabilities, improves interoperability, and allows for more frequent and advanced training between the two militaries. The newly designated sites, especially those in Cagayan, Isabela, and Palawan, are strategically located near Taiwan and the South China Sea. This positioning extends U.S. operational reach, allowing for quicker deployment in times of crisis and strengthening regional deterrence. For the Philippine military, the agreement brings advanced training opportunities, upgraded infrastructure, and over $100 million in U.S.-funded improvements, including modern equipment and new facilities that boost overall defense readiness. For the U.S., it's about establishing a more distributed and resilient force posture throughout the Indo-Pacific, reducing vulnerabilities and increasing flexibility in a rapidly changing security environment. EDCA enables regular joint exercises focused on maritime security, counterterrorism, and disaster relief, areas that are crucial for a disaster-prone nation like the Philippines and vital for regional stability. With pre-positioned supplies and equipment, response times to natural disasters like typhoons or earthquakes are dramatically reduced, cutting aid delivery from days to just hours and saving countless lives in emergencies. The agreement's dual-use nature, serving both security and humanitarian purposes, has won broad support within the Philippine defense establishment, as it addresses both national defense and disaster resilience. This is a modern alliance designed for both crisis response and ongoing cooperation, reflecting the evolving needs of both nations in today's complex world. The practical impact of EDCA will be felt not just by the armed forces, but also on the ground in local communities and across the wider region, shaping security and stability for years to come. The expanded EDCA has drawn strong endorsements from both Manila and Washington. President Marcos Jr. calls it essential for defending Philippine territory and sovereignty, emphasizing its defensive nature. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin hails the pact as a historic milestone, pledging to modernize Philippine defense and ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. Philippine defense officials highlight the immediate benefits: modern runways, better storage, and improved living quarters for troops. Enhanced maritime domain awareness is now possible, critical for monitoring illegal fishing and foreign incursions. Critics, however, warn of the risk of being drawn into a U.S.-China conflict and demand transparency and guarantees against offensive use. The debate reflects long-standing concerns over sovereignty and the costs of foreign alliances. Still, the government insists the agreement is about building a credible defense for the 21st century. The stakes are high and the conversation is far from over. Beijing's reaction to the expanded U.S.-Philippines pact has been swift and severe, viewing it as a U.S.-led effort to contain China. Chinese officials warn that introducing external forces will only escalate tensions and undermine regional stability. The proximity of new EDCA sites to Taiwan alarms Beijing, which fears U.S. intervention in any Taiwan conflict. Chinese state media accuse Manila of becoming a pawn in Washington's strategy, aiming to sow division within ASEAN. The pact adds complexity to the South China Sea, where China's expansive claims and aggressive actions have already heightened tensions. The U.S. presence is meant to deter further Chinese assertiveness, but it also raises the risk of direct confrontation. Southeast Asian nations now face a more polarized environment, forced to reconsider their own strategic positions. The expanded EDCA brings significant economic effects, especially for communities hosting the 9 sites. U.S. investment in infrastructure creates jobs and stimulates local economies, while the presence of American troops boosts spending on goods and services. Nationally, a stronger security alliance is seen as a magnet for foreign investment, reassuring global corporations of stability. However, the risk of Chinese economic retaliation looms. Potential boycotts, reduced tourism, and stalled investments could follow. The Marcos administration is betting that long-term security outweighs short-term economic risks. For the region, the pact underscores the link between security and economics. Any conflict in the South China Sea would disrupt global trade. The U.S. aims to ensure freedom of navigation, signaling its resolve to protect vital sea lanes even as tensions rise. The expanded defense pact has sparked passionate debate within the Philippines, cutting across political and social lines. Supporters see the U.S. alliance as essential for defending against a more powerful neighbor, while opponents warn it compromises sovereignty and risks making the country a battleground. Protests and calls for no to U.S. bases echo the nation's colonial past, but recent surveys show most Filipinos support the alliance, especially those affected by Chinese aggression. For many, security and the ability to fish safely outweigh abstract foreign policy concerns. Local leaders in EDCA host regions were initially hesitant, but government promises of economic development and disaster relief have won most over. This local buy-in is crucial for smooth implementation and reflects the complex domestic politics at play. The debate continues, but the government's strategy has secured broad, if sometimes reluctant, support. Geopolitical experts see the expanded EDCA as a strategic convergence. Manila, facing relentless pressure from China, has turned back to the U.S. for security. The 9 EDCA sites are key nodes in America's integrated deterrence strategy, creating a distributed military posture that's harder to target. The Philippines offers strategic access. The U.S. brings military power and technology. Together, they form a potent alliance. This partnership is more than boots on the ground. It's a game changer that alters the region's strategic landscape. China must now rethink its gray zone tactics, as any aggression risks direct U.S. involvement. The agreement's logic is clear: raise the cost of aggression to deter conflict. The coming months will test how China adapts to this new reality. The Indo-Pacific chessboard has been reset. The Philippines' expanded defense pact with the U.S. is a defining moment for Asia-Pacific security. It's a bold bet on an old alliance, linking the nation's future to Washington amid a global power struggle. The immediate effects, investment, modernization, and rising tensions are already visible. The pact's success will depend on political will, diplomatic skill, and public support as the region navigates a new era of rivalry. The Indo-Pacific security is no longer abstract. It shapes global trade and stability. Decisions made today in Manila and Washington will echo worldwide. The next chapter is being written now on the shores of the Philippines.